Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Strive for the Best podcast. I'm your host Ahmed Faiz, and in today's podcast we'll be talking about stress during quarantine. And today I'm joined with my good friend, really close friend of mine, Rona. Rona, can you please introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Rona. That's all you gotta know. Shit.
Hi.
Wait, am I allowed to curse here?
Yeah, sure.
We're good.
Uh, yeah, and for today's topic is stress during quarantine. Uh, this topic is widely like a common heard topic, and during this time period, um, yeah, and we all have stress during quarantine, right? So like, uh, how can we manage that stress? So Rona, my first question for you today is, and what is the main cause of stress in quarantine?
I mean, it's a global pandemic. Obviously, there's stress involved. There's a lot of people that are dying. A
Yeah,
lot of people that are infected, so that might raise your anxiety and stuff. But I think it's mostly that the fact that you don't really have your friends around you.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
don't really have your people to talk to. It's not
exactly.
very
It's
nice.
just is just like it's like the same it's like the same family around you, like it's the same people around you.
Yeah, it gets boring at times, and then there's also fights and all those things. If you
Yep,
don't
yep.
know how to deal with your problems very well, this isn't going well for you, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and having siblings in the house it's quite annoying, you know. So
I wouldn't be able to relate. I'm the annoying one in the family. I'm the youngest.
you're the youngest. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, you must be annoying as fuck.
They're all
Uh,
old as fuck, so they can tolerate. They're good at tolerating me.
yeah, 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 yeah. And also like during this cause, obviously, like there's limited how I guess and there's limited access to the outside world, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
but like that doesn't really matter for me because I don't personally leave the house every like 2 months. I just don't like leaving the house. But sunshine is good sometimes. Seeing
yeah, yeah,
people is good sometimes.
yeah, it's good. It's really good for exercising and doing some other kind of sports.
hmm
uh so my question for you is, how can we control stress during this time period?
I mean, there's different things you can do. For instance, I exercise every now and then, although like I don't like it.
Yeah,
I have a feeling that it brings me closer to the outside world. Like usually I'd be forced to do PE, in school, so it kind of reminds me of those times. So exercising is really good. Talking
yeah,
to your friends, obviously, that's
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Just things that relates to the outside world. It's a good thing.
yeah. And also like in a way, like we need and we need to social, like we need to get like really social and
Yeah.
like Instagram, Snapchat. Like we need to FaceTime our friends, you know, play some games with
hmm
them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's like a reality check though. Like every now and then you realize how much you use your phone
Exactly. Yeah,
and
yeah,
how
so,
much you don't.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like sometimes this stress, you know, can lead to like fights, like fights in the house. You know, like some family members
Yeah.
I could eventually fight because of this. Like there
Even
and there's too much.
online.
Yeah, online.
Like
You know, like
there's so many fights online recently because they get bored and stuff and they
yeah,
just start something.
yeah, exactly. Like
It's a lot.
boredom.
hmm
And and like my question for you again is what are the effects of stress?
I mean, okay, there's a lot of effects of stress, even just school wise, like there's a lot of effects, like
Yep.
thoughts on things
Yep.
that you want to do, not necessarily like negative, kind of like maybe I should improve in myself types of things. You rethink a lot of your decisions when you're stressed. I feel like
Yeah,
um, whenever your mind is going off,
yep,
it you just start a dispute with yourself. You start questioning things, and then you start debating against things, and it's
yeah,
never a calm moment. It's always like, I need to do something. If I don't do something, then it's just not a positive thing. I feel like.
exactly, 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 exactly. And
Let me ask you something.
yep, you can ask me anything.
During how many during this quarantine, how much do you think it affected you towards like stress? Like in school, I know you get stressed, but at home, do you think it increased, and how much?
How much what I can really hear.
Like how much stress did you get because of quarantine?
Oh, I got a whole lot of stress during this time period because I'm just stuck. I'm just stuck at home with and with the whole idea of the online learning. It got me a lot more stressed, and with like my
That's true.
and with like and with my siblings again more stress. So like the stress level it just keeps going higher and higher and higher every time. Um,
Yeah,
the only way I can release the stress is by sleeping. I just
uh, my guy for sleeping. It's the only
you know,
time,
you
the
know with
only place you
with
could
sleep
go
we
to.
eat. That's it. I just sleep and
Mm,
eat during this time period. Like, I just can't take any more in.
yeah, I mean, that's what I do regularly, but
Yeah,
yeah, now you guys know what I do.
and also like it affects your mental state and your emotional state also. Like
Mm,
and people could get anxiety from this and could lead to and depression. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
like people need
it's
to open up and like think about it first and before going like to anxiety and depression. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I mean, everything that has changed, it usually involves something negative. So like, and this is like a big change for a lot of people. Not going to school, or like not being able to leave the house for a really long time, having
Yeah,
restrictions on what you can do
yeah,
outside and
yeah,
all
yeah.
those things. That's a very big change.
Mhm.
So a lot of people are already thinking really badly about it. But I think it's a good thing, to be honest. It's like a refresher. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like it's like when you refresh and the tab and Google Chrome. Like I want to
yeah.
see the whole thing over again.
And you
Like
think about the things that you did that was probably never good for yourself. Like,
exactly, exactly, and it can
maybe I
refresh
left
you.
the house too much and all those things. So there's negatives and positives, but
Yeah, 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 yeah. And so what is the what is the positive side of stress during this time period?
um, well, as I said, stress could make you think a lot of things, like overthinking a lot of things, and sometimes that's a good thing
Yeah,
because you can see how much you've changed, how much like you could improve, because you
yeah,
think
yeah,
about things. So you kind of figure out, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I should have done this.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
that's the most positive thing about this right now.
Yeah, and it also can make you reflect on things that you did in the past and
Yeah,
make you a better person in the future.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and also um like also another way of getting stressed and during the time period is by like your sleep pattern, and your
Yeah.
eating pattern and all the other stuff like can also affect your lifestyle.
Yeah. You know, even okay, during quarantine, I don't know if it's easier for you guys to fast because it was Ramadan. Eid Mubarak, by the way. Forgot to tell you.
Yeah,
Um, is fasting easier now in quarantine, or is it harder?
I mean it's actually a lot more easier in quarantine because we don't gotta do anything more that takes a lot of
A
energy.
lot of, yeah. But
Uh,
also there's online classes in the, like early in the morning that you like a lot of people miss those classes because they'd rather sleep in because you know it's they're fasting, they're tired,
yeah, exactly.
they might get hungry when they eat. So like their education's also getting affected by it.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
if you go to school, you know, you can't really leave school that easy. So
Yeah, because
fasting
it's a
would be
rule. Yeah,
easy.
exactly.
Yeah.
But like here, it's your option if you wanna if you don't really attend these classes because in the end, you know, they're gonna post it like for homework or for something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, uh, online classes and during Ramadan, it doesn't really affect us. But then, after Ramadan, it does affect us. You know, for our grades and
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
attendance and stuff. But
I don't understand online schools though. They're like killing us. There's so many. I don't know if it's just our school or what, but it's not healthy. Like it really isn't.
yeah,
Their
it's
classes used to be an hour in, like less than an hour in school, and then now they expect us to do these things, and it takes us what like more than 3 hours for one subject.
exactly, exactly. And that's why like I'm not I just didn't care about online classes like after like the first 4 weeks of it. I just
Yeah,
couldn't bother like doing all of the work, man. And I'll do some and then stop because I can't take in that stress. It's too much stress in there.
yeah. There's also like I didn't even know we had a website until quarantine started. Like I had no idea that was a thing. I opened it and it was all overdue, and I was like, oh shit, I should have probably done over. But here we are.
Yeah. So do you have some tips to overcome stress during this time period? Like it's really hard to overcome it because we're just stuck at home. We can't really do anything about it. So do you have some tips and tricks?
Yeah, distraction. Distraction is like the main key because you can't really relieve stress
Hmm.
easily. So you might as well just like forget about it, you know? It's like if you don't think about it as much, I think it'll like move away on its own. You know, there's things like exercise. That
Yeah,
releases stress, but that's also like um not a good thing, I feel like, just because you're releasing stress but you're not really taking care of the problem,
exactly.
you know. But if you distract yourself, I bet you that you're gonna have like an idea of what you should do, so you can keep yourself happy and not stressed. Like for example, for me, I talk to you, I talk to some of my friends, I do work just so I can release stress off of like family problems and all those things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then while I talk to you guys, I feel like you guys give me an idea of what I should do, and that usually
Ex-
takes care of the problem.
exactly. Advice. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, full advice. Doesn't even have to be advice, just like random things you talk about, and then my mind just kind of puts things together, and then oh, that's the answer to your problem, you know?
Yeah, 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 yeah. And like me, like in this quarantine period, and before I made this podcast, I was really stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
I was really stressed out. But now, since I made this podcast, you know, some stress it just disappeared, and now now I'm feeling better because I made this podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
So
I love podcasts so much. It's just relaxing because like you hear people talking and then you're getting ideas of your own. Like, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that makes sense. I feel like that's really the main thing on why people make podcasts and stuff. So
yeah,
this is
and
a really good idea.
this podcast is actually the first podcast in Qatar. Actually, there's no other podcast.
Really,
Yeah,
that's great. That's cool.
yeah, that's crazy. And I'm also having a YouTube channel coming soon and a website actually coming soon.
Damn,
Yes.
you're
So like
you're
I'm
growing
I'm, do-
fast, bro.
I'm doing a lot of things to improve my community, the strive
Yeah,
for the best community and stuff to release all of the stress that people have, you know, and we can talk about it in
yeah.
groups and you know what I'm saying?
Honestly, I think those are the best things to do now because like we aren't loaded with besides schoolwork. We aren't loaded too much with like plans and all those things. So I think people that are stressed, they could release stress by going to you or like looking at your websites or videos or like
Yeah,
listening to your podcast. So I think that's a really good idea.
yeah, yeah. And also like the idea of making the podcast, really gives me like a motivation to do more stuff.
Yeah,
You know what
and
I'm saying?
talking is just a really nice thing.
Yeah,
It's literally taking things off your shoulders.
exactly. It's just simple, and it's just taking off things off your brain, and I'm putting it to,
Yeah,
and out to the world. You know what I'm saying? It's just
I hope a lot more people get to do these types of things because honestly, I think it's the best way to really put yourself out there. You know?
yeah, 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 yeah. Um, like for the past 2 months, I've been listening to a podcast called Born to Impact. Uh, they really taught me like really big lesson. Uh, like
Yeah,
uh, like in life, if you want something, you gotta work hard for it. You know what I'm saying? And
there's no shortcuts and all
yeah,
those.
there's no short paths or stuff. Like if you cheat, you get and there's a consequence if you cheat. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Yeah, it's
for and
crazy because that's what I told some of my friends like a few days ago. I was like, as much as we'd love to have money and all those things and just find a way to get money quick,
yeah, yeah,
there's nothing better than working hard for the things you have because like
exactly,
that
exactly.
feeling, the feeling like this is mine, I worked hard for this, I deserve this, that's like a really good thing. Like I don't
Yeah,
know about other people, but I love that.
yeah, exactly. And like for every action you make, there's a consequence. And
Mm,
yeah, and like it just gave me like and this big and perspective in life that made me like, okay, okay, what am I gonna do in life like in the future? Okay, so I
yeah.
started planning. I started planning, and then now I'm here. I'm making the podcast with you. You know what I'm saying?
Ye- but for real, not every planning goes in the way that you want it to.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I think the best thing to do, yeah, plan your life out. Like have a dream, have a goal and stuff like that, but don't expect it to always work out. Always have a
yeah,
backup plan.
exactly.
I feel like that's the best way to go out, like life wise. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 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 it does. Yeah, and also like life is like a whole challenge, It just keeps throwing you rocks and bricks, you know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
in order to dodge and those things, you gotta like work hard uh, to just move past them, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm. I told you like a few days ago, I think that life is like a game. There's always challenges and stuff, and when you face
Hmm.
it, your score gets higher. That's what I think of it. Like, um, the more things you do in life that are hard, the more
Yeah,
you gain experience, the more you gain success and all those things. And like
ex-
it's a really good learning
exactly,
experience.
exactly, exactly. And like a few days ago, I was watching this video about I forgot the YouTuber's name, but like he told us why we should start saving money from now until
Mm.
like we get 21, because the idea is that if you start saving money from now on, you're gonna get more financially like uh,
Stable.
stable and more emotionally, you know what I'm saying, happy with your life, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like you keep saving more money, and you're gonna see the money, and you're gonna be like, okay, my next step, I want to save more after this, you know what I'm saying? And you're gonna
yeah.
get a lot more hungry after that, you know what I'm saying?
For us, when we were young, we were taught that the more you start, like the younger you start saving money, the more successful you are when you grow up. Because it's like um, you're making it less hard for yourself in the future, but also you're giving yourself financial stability early on. so you
Yeah,
don't have to worry about it and all those things. Like we have college funds and all those.
exactly, exactly. And you don't know what's coming in the future, right? So
Yeah, for it, like you could use that money for something you didn't plan on, like like an emergency, and
exactly.
you know where to get money, and you don't have to worry about as much
Yeah,
things
yeah,
as you were going to.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like and and with this whole quarantine stuff going on, like uh, so and social media, some uh, and there has been a lot of rumors, like fake rumors about stuff and people dying and stuff. But like, I don't think people like should just and post stuff right away without even thinking. Like they should think about and they should think about the whole community as a whole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, and like they they should feel like how emotionally how other emotions of people could affect them. You know what I'm saying?
but sometimes it's also a good thing. Sometimes the disputes on social media makes you think of things you did in the past and like the things that you're doing now. It's
Yeah,
like you just see a perspective that you didn't see before. I think, to be honest with you, some bad things, like some words, some like hate that you receive, not all of them is like this, like you don't deserve that, but also you could take it as a suggestion. I feel like
yeah, yeah,
obviously, except for death threats and all those things, I feel like most are just trying to help you out. Trying to say, I don't know what you want to do, but I feel like you should do this instead because
yeah. And you should reflect also, like and you should and you should
yeah,
put yourself in other people's shoes. And you need to feel how they're feeling and their emotions. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. It's
Like,
something a lot of people can't do or chooses not to do because they feel greater about themselves. Like I don't need to think like that person. They need to think like me. Like their pride is just way too high up,
yeah,
and I
they
don't think
think that
that's
they're
like
better
a
than everyone
healthy.
else, and
Mm,
they could do anything they want in this world. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's pretty messed up, but that must have come from something.
Yeah, yeah. And it also shows that they don't have like a lot of experience in life. Like
Yeah,
they didn't go out there to into the world and to the real world. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah,
They just take life so easy because
yeah, yeah, yeah,
they think it is.
yeah. And they think that everything they want is just gonna come to them. And
Mhm.
it's messed up. You know what I'm saying?
It really is. But I don't blame them because we should take things light and easy too. But in certain situations, I think it's really nice to say, this is a hard thing to decide on. I shouldn't take this thing easy. But I think mostly in life, you should just chill and you should just vibe
Yeah,
with whatever
yeah.
is going on.
Exactly. You just need to think about it a little bit.
Yes.
And you don't need to overthink it, because if you overthink it, it could lead to something
Yes.
else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just balance it. Just balance things out.
Yeah,
Think
yeah,
about things, but don't do it too much and don't do it too carelessly.
exactly, exactly. Like imagine and you go shopping, right? You
Mm-hmm.
you have a lot of options, right? But then you don't know what to choose though, and the price tags, like the better it looks and the more expensive. Okay, so what will you
Yeah.
choose then? Yeah. So what will you choose? Yeah, the better it
All
looks,
right.
it's more expensive, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly. So and so, like for my choice, I'll choose the price that like it's not too expensive, and like
Yeah,
it doesn't look really bad. You know what I'm saying? I
just like an
just like a
appropriate
normal,
thing.
yeah, yeah, like normal people. but then some people tend to go way over that limit and buy the most expensive, and the most expensive sometimes can be and can look really
really
bad.
ugly.
Yeah, ugly as hell.
Really. Yeah, but it's also their preference. They want to show off their money, go off, but don't start complaining about it. Like, if
Yeah,
you, here's the thing about like more privileged people. I feel like whenever they spend money on something that doesn't really look good, or they just bought it because it has a high price, or like the name of it is high,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think they should have a balance. Like, yeah, go off, buy whatever you want, but also like help some people that can't. You're not
yeah.
you're not gonna use all of that. You're not gonna use your Gucci shoes like every single day. I bet you have like 100 shoes. Give some to people. Help
Exactly,
out.
exactly,
Don't be so selfish.
exactly. Like you need to give back. Like you need to realize that
Yeah.
it's not only you in this world. Like there's many other people
Mm.
who are like and starving. And need and like this kind of stuff. Footwear and all of this kind of stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we could care less if they buy like 300 mansions. Just if you're not gonna use it, why? Why buy
Yeah,
it?
exactly, exactly. And like and the more and the more we develop in this world, like and the more people get greedy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, first. And their pride just gets higher and higher. Like, yeah, I bought that. Okay,
Yeah,
good for you. Like,
yeah, exactly. And they're gonna be like, I want this now. No, I want this now. And after that, and they're gonna like want to buy
yeah,
everything else. You know what I'm saying?
they're very greedy. I feel like in this country, especially, no offense to anyone in this country, but like this country especially, and I think they disregard the fact that some people don't have what they have, so they should just be grateful. But they really like showing off things and all that. I don't mind it, but a lot of people get kind of angry over it, saying like,
Yeah, and jealous. Some jealousy.
yeah, and jealous. A lot of jealousy too. They're all like, it's they have it. Okay, they have money, they have a good house, they have good cars and stuff like that. They have good things.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think you should bring people down because they don't. I don't think you should start telling
yeah,
people like, yeah, I have these things. You don't. I
yeah,
don't.
yeah, yeah.
I don't fuck with that.
And like you have it is good for you, but like
Yeah,
you don't need to tell other people, oh, I have this, I have that.
yeah.
Like we don't need to
I
know what you have.
understand. I understand if like they worked hard for it, because like, yeah, I would do that too. Like, if
Yeah,
I
yeah,
worked hard for my things, obviously I would be proud of it. But I
yeah,
don't think you
exactly,
should go off and start
exactly.
bullying people.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
real messed up things.
yeah, exactly. And like like in this world right now, like people are like the sense of humor is just getting more or less and less in people and because of like the things it's all because of the objects. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't realize
Yeah,
that.
yeah, materialized.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They don't realize the emotions of people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm, for real. They think of things like they find it funny. They find other people's negative emotions very funny,
Yeah,
very easily. It's not really
exactly,
good.
exactly.
They find humor in something so negative, and I just don't understand how that's a possibility. Like, maybe it's because, for me, my humor, it's like whatever, but I don't find humor in people's sadness. Like, that's just messed up. That's really fucking messed up.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Again, because they can't put themselves in like other people's perspective. You know?
yeah. Exactly, exactly. And this world today, like and people tend to like think, like not outside of the box, like think and like small area in their brain. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They don't really go outside the box and think about it. You know,
Yeah, they
now
just
it's
do
just,
whatever.
yeah, just do like the small things, about it. You know what I'm saying? They don't really care about the emotions or how the other people feel or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or they're going to like they'd say, yeah, I helped this person. I'm just like, I'm balancing it out. I'm laughing at them, but I'm also helping them. But their help is like 10%. 90% of the things they do are just
Yeah,
they find humor in the bad situations.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
It's a good thing
And
sometimes though, having humor in bad things, because it's like it gives the other person kind of like a take it easy. If I'm laughing at it, you should laugh at it too. Not
yeah,
not too much to the point where you just you don't care. You know.
yeah, yeah. Like and as humans, we need to care for each other. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm,
like we're the same creatures in the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we're supposed
yeah.
to care for each other. You know what I'm saying?
Equality, man. Equality. That's
Yeah,
literally it.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Like, um, the more the world developing, like, the more people are getting like, uh, emotional depressed, and anxiety comes in. You know what I'm saying? Like, more
It's
people
the
are
best
like,
time to take care.
yeah, exactly. This quarantine period, like, people really need to talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they need in the family gathering, like, in the house, for dinner or some lunch or breakfast. You know, like
We never,
like
in my household, we never have, since I was like really young, we never had dinner together or like breakfast together or like lunch. We just, my mom cooks, we get food, we go in our rooms. Like that's pretty much it. But for us, that works because we work best on our own. And then obviously at times we go out and then we celebrate and stuff. And for us, it's a healthy thing. Like setting yourself apart from people, but obviously when they need it the most, you can go to them.
yeah,
So
exactly,
that's it.
exactly. Like, our dinner table is like just so awkward and silent. You know, and we don't really talk about anything. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Or family dinner fights. That's like a thing. We used
Yeah,
to
yeah.
have that when like that a special occasion, like a birthday or something. The one time we were on a table together, we'd fight.
Yeah, that also, it used to happen, and back in the day when I was small,
Yeah.
with some family members of mine. Yeah, like, it used to happen like all the time, but now, you know what I'm saying?
Now
And
it's like we just stay quiet.
yeah, like, the more older we get, you know what I'm saying? Like, the more careless,
Yeah.
and the more careless about the youth, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. About, like, about us living in this compact world, you know what I'm saying? It's just really tiny, and people think of it, and people think of it as like a really tiny room, and surrounded by thousands and thousands of people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, like, we're supposed to help each other, you know what I'm saying? We're supposed to think about each other, and yeah,
But help yourself first. I think that's the first thing everyone should do. If you can't help yourself, then find someone that could help you. But
exactly.
I don't think you should start relying on other people to help you out because that's not how the world works. Everyone has their issues. Everyone
Yeah,
has
yeah,
things to do. So I think you should help yourself first. Once you're done with that, you know, find like if you still have problems, find someone you trust.
yeah. Talk to,
If
like,
not, yeah, if not, seek someone higher. Just find someone that you think would be the best help for you.
yeah.
A lot of people find me as help. Like they call me their therapist. I have friends that say, "Oh, let me talk to Rona real quick." Like one time, we were in one of my friend's house. We were like making mac and cheese or something, and then
Yeah.
someone knocks at her door, and then obviously she went to the door and stuff, and she was like, "Hi" and stuff. And it was one of her classmates. And she was crying. She was like bawling her eyes out. She was like, "Is Rona here?" And then I was like, "What? What?" Yeah. She was like, "Rona, can you come into the room? I have to talk to you about something." And it was like a whole conversation and stuff. And I told her, "Just talk to me while we're in the kitchen and stuff." She was crying while I was cutting the cheeses. It was a good, it was a good time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like during those times, like people really need uh uh like someone to talk to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, even even if they don't give you advice, honestly, just talking about your problems,
Yeah, it just releases like
yeah, it, it expresses your feelings in a
yeah,
way that you can't do to yourself.
yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly. And also like today, like the most successful people in the world right now, they tend to surround themselves with like a lot more, and successful people than them. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah, yeah,
they tend to surround themselves with people higher than them, and
yeah. Like inspiration. Take inspiration from people.
exactly for inspiration and
Yeah,
motivation. You
and
know what I'm saying?
yeah. Don't rely on yourself thinking you can do everything. Cause yeah, you could try, but I guarantee you it won't be the same as like someone helping you out, someone
Yeah,
giving you inspiration to do something better than what you.
yeah, exactly. Like
And don't be jealous. Don't do that. That's
yeah,
stupid.
yeah, that's just dumb. Yeah, exactly. But like your friends right now, and you don't know where you're gonna be in like 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like maybe some of
Be,
them are gonna be CEOs, and some of them are gonna be living on the streets. You don't know, bro. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Be grateful that you have this time
Yeah,
with your
exactly.
friends and you have people around you,
Yeah,
especially the family. Honestly, even with the even with family problems and all those things, they're still here, aren't they?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
They ain't leaving anywhere. Trust me.
yeah, exactly. And like
And if you don't have anyone to talk to, we're here. At me, at me.
yeah, I'm gonna put the link for the Instagram chat, and
Hey,
I'll
yeah,
also
just
yeah,
DM me if you need anything.
yeah.
Y'all, I'll be your therapist for like a few months until you can get back to on yourself.
I
It actually happens. They in school they like say hold on, let me talk to Rona and stuff like that. Let me ask her for something.
in school I
Yeah,
I don't really have like because because I'm back in the day like I'm for after 2 years I'm for 2 years and 1 year ago um
yeah,
I've been bullied like obviously like a whole lot of times being bullied, you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
and I didn't have anyone to talk to, so like
Bro, if I was there,
every night in my room I've just been crying the whole time, you know what I'm saying. I've just been crying.
but that's a lot of people. Let's be honest. Like a lot of people have troubles that they can't completely face and stuff like that, and they can't talk to anyone about because
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
no one to talk to.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Like every night and from the day in school, like every night when I used to come to sleep, I just think about it, I just start crying, you know, so every single night.
Hmm.
And during that those years, oh yeah,
Me,
and those
I
were
used to have those times too.
yeah, bro. Those nights were mad fun. I just couldn't like let go of
Hmm.
the bullying and the emotions that are in me. I just couldn't let go of them. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Lucky for us, our class is pretty cool. Like with each other, like the Qataris were like we were all cool with each other. We were no one was bullying each other. We have like groups, yeah, but we were never like so strict on them. Like if someone were to talk to us, it's not like we'd say don't no fuck off. Like we're all
Yeah,
cool with each other,
yeah,
so it's
yeah,
pretty nice. But sometimes it's not even they go to school sometimes to like tell people like yo like help me out. I only came to school to escape from problems at home. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
it's a good sometimes it's a balance too.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. Like in school nowadays, and bullying and like anxiety has have been like a whole,
It's been really high.
yeah,
So high.
Like, it's not only Qatar though. It's like the whole world. You know what I'm saying?
It's yeah. You'd feel like the whole world is against you because a group of people are.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
that's not true, guys.
yeah.
Don't
Exactly. Like,
think like that.
there's many good people in this world. Like,
You
and you
just
just
gotta
don't see
find
them.
them.
And
Yeah,
you don't see them. Yeah, exactly.
for real. I was like when you were getting bullied, like how many years ago?
Uh, uh, 2 years ago, 1 year ago.
Yeah, 2 or 1 year ago. I was in the same school as you. You know, if we had met that time, I was also very depressed at that time. But if we had met at that time, I bet you we would have, talked about your problems and we would have been cool and all those things, and you could have
Yeah,
gone through it.
exactly.
But you just don't see people sometimes.
Exactly. You don't
You
see
really
them, you
don't.
know, and they'll be there like right in front of you, but then and you just
You
can't
just
see
don't.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But that's also because I'm short. But other than that, other than that, like
Nah,
people
nah.
are invisible. Good people, they sometimes don't show up until you're okay, because they know you can deal with it yourself.
Yeah, because sometimes
It's all God's plan. It's all God's plan.
like sometimes in order to be good, first you get and you gotta be bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like me now I'm good because back then, I used to be bad. You know what I'm saying? Back in year 6, I used to bully. I didn't used to get bullied. I used to bully myself. You
Why?
know, because I was dumb. I was in year 6, and now, like 2 years ago, I got bullied myself, and now I just realized I reflect on all of my actions and these things, and
Yeah,
now I'm a good person. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I don't think I've ever. Well, okay. Here's the thing. Right. When I was in year 5, year 6, year 7, year 8, you know, it was all like I had a group of friends. I had like my people that I talked to and all those things.
Yeah, yeah,
And I know a lot of people bullied me then. I just never really cared about it, so I forgot about it.
yeah, yeah.
So I never really had. I don't know if I was a bad person or not before, but I'm pretty sure I became bad. Like compared to before, I think I'm worse now. I'm in
Nah,
like that phase. I'm in that phase where it's like I'm a good person. Like if you come talk to me, I'll talk to you and all those things. But I'm never always good. I'm never always. I don't bully people. I don't feel good. You know.
yeah, exactly. Exactly, and sometimes you feel like the whole world is just coming to you. And be like,
Mm,
why doing this? Why doing that? Why doing this? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, they're very judgmental. Every
Yeah,
one of them.
exactly, exactly.
Some people say they don't care, but you're they care. They really.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, so, oh, it's been a whole lot of podcast.
Yeah.
All right. So should we end it there, or do you have something to say? Some,
Yeah, I wanted to say thank you too for inviting me. I didn't even know it was happening.
yeah, it's
You
just one
sent me.
point.
I was like, oh, okay, so we're doing this. All right.
Yeah, yes,
But yeah, I hope that everyone that listened to this learned something
yeah,
from that.
yes,
I
guys.
hope your stress, your anxiety, and all those just disappears somehow. If
Yes,
it doesn't,
guys.
talk to us.
Yes,
We'll be
guys.
here.
And then
I won't.
listen to this. Tune in, take like
Yeah.
take like good responsibility for your actions. You know what I'm saying?
Mm, think about everything you do, but don't
Yeah,
overthink.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and thank you guys for listening. Um,
Thank you.
and then thank you for tuning in, and thank you, Rona, for joining us today. Uh,
Anytime.
yeah, and the link for our social media will be down in the bio.
Yep.
Um, all right, guys, tune in and thank you for listening. Peace.
Bye.